Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Helen of Helen Jeanne Designs and Hope-Filled Journals, and today I would like to participate again in the Dephemerember daily challenge for the month of December. And today, as I'm filming this, we are on day 10. Today is the 10th. Probably won't air this until tomorrow by the time I get it uploaded and edited. So I might be running a little bit behind, but it's been so much fun, and I've just been so encouraged by watching Barbara and Lisa's videos. They have so much excitement for this challenge. And so today it is staple and tuck spot. So that should be pretty simple, but I decided I'd like to just really try to just get creative with it. And I have all kinds of supplies here. Oh, these were from yesterday, my little tea pockets. I used the tea bags and just did a couple different things with them. I'm going to be making a winter journal with the woodland theme in January, and actually I just released my kit today, so I'm going to use a little bit of one of the pages I'm going to incorporate into my tuck spot just to kind of stick with the theme. But I will link my kit down below. It's available on my Etsy shop and in my website if you're interested. But now I'm going to go on to today's craft, which I decided I'm going to just kind of play and have fun. I've got some mixed media paper here, and I just gathered a few supplies that I haven't used in a while just to have fun. I've got my stapler. Need to use that. We're going to incorporate that. And I purchased these stamping foam blocks a while back, and they've been in my drawer. I haven't used them yet. I just opened them. They're Simon Hurley made by Ranger stamping foam. And I'm going to try to put an impression of this lace onto the foam and just kind of experiment with it. So if you haven't used one of these, which I haven't, the directions say to use your heat tool, and then you can use anything to make an impression. So I'm going to use this lace just because I had that readily available, but it would be fun to experiment with all sorts of things. So I have my heat tool here, and I'm actually going to, well, I'll heat it up, but it's going to get a little loud. So not sure how long you need to heat it up, but that should give it enough time. So I'm just going to place my design on top, and then I'm just going to press it down. I believe it says for 5 to 10 seconds. So I'm just going to press this down, put a little pressure on there. Like I said, I've never used one of these before. So hopefully this turns out something different. I thought it'd be fun to use this challenge to just experiment and have fun. That's probably been about 5 or 10 seconds. I don't know if I had it hot enough. It doesn't feel very warm. Either that or my heat tool doesn't give off enough heat. I think I should have probably heated it up a little bit more. So the impressions aren't that deep. I'm debating whether I should do this again. I think you can use the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it again. I could erase this, but I just want to give it a comparison. But I'm going to do that off camera here. I'm going to heat it up again and see if I can get a better impression. All right, I'm going to try to make another impression. I'm afraid to lift up my hands because the impression might not be deep enough, but like I said, this is the first time I've used this. I'm trying to decide if I should show you what happened off camera. Well, it's okay. I'm not sure what this is here. It's like I didn't press enough there. Well, I guess I'll show you. This is the first impression, so it is a little bit deeper. Thinking maybe I should use something besides lace. But you want to see what happened? I was reaching up to adjust the camera to get ready to turn it back on, and I still had the heat tool on, and I burnt it. So apparently you got to be careful when you're using these. Foam, I guess, will melt. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try this. So we'll see what happens. I've got my, don't want to ruin my lace, but I'm going to just use like this Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to experiment and see what it does. I'm just going to rub this across here. See what happens. Now with these, the ink goes in the negative space. It's not like a rubber stamp. Now I may have put a little too much on this because I might have gotten some in the crevices, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a go and see what happens. Well, and I'm just going to play around with it. Well, it's kind of pretty, a little different, but I think what I'm going to do is just kind of make like a collage. Now you can see the blocks. This would be fun to use if you're going to make like maybe journaling cards or something, and you wanted the rectangular shape. Very interesting, very pretty. Of course, by the time I'm done with this, you probably won't be able to see any of the pattern. So now, I didn't read the instructions about cleaning up this up, so I'm going to have to do a little more research on these blocks. If you've used one of these, I would love to hear in the comments what you've done with it. But that seems pretty fun. So I think what I'm going to do also is just add a little bit of different colored ink. Add a little bit of this, let's see, this is ground espresso. Give it a little bit of a rustic look, kind of a woodland color theme, although my kit is more of the blues and more of the bright colors, but I wanted to see where this would take me. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of water. This is mixed media paper, so it should be okay. I'm probably going to not have much of a design left, but I really want this to be like a mixed media piece. I'm just going to kind of pat it dry a little bit. I'm losing a little bit of my pattern, but that's part of the fun of experimenting. It's kind of got a contemporary, modern, clean squares along with the patterns. Very versatile. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of stamp. So I have this, I haven't used this yet either. It's just basic handwriting. So I'm going to add a little bit of this. I don't have an acrylic block. I'm just going to use it as it is. All right, so I'm just going, I'm not going to cover the whole thing with ink. So I don't need the whole thing. Not even sure which direction I'm going to go. I'm not going to use this whole paper. I'm probably just going to tear some off to make my tuck spot. So I'm just going to press that on. Oh, that's nice. Actually, I like that. Got this on Amazon. Now I was looking at this and I don't have a lot of napkins, but I just thought this is just kind of screaming at me to use a napkin. So I have this kind of floral napkin, and there's florals in the kit that I have. So I am going to just put a little bit of this colorful napkin on here. I'm going to center it kind of in this part because I think I'm going to use this top part, since this is probably a little bit bigger than my journal pages. But I might be able to make 2 tuck spots out of this. So I'm going to separate a little bit of this napkin off and get some glue to put it on. Okay, I tore a little bit of this napkin, and I just need to separate off the top so that it's nice and thin. If you've ever used napkins before, they're a lot of fun. So I'm just going to glue this on and use my clear gesso over the top. I used the glue stick and put some glue on the back of it. So I'm just going to stick it on. It's got a little bit of a crease there, but that'll be all right. It's the fun of mixed media. You can make it however you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's why I like junk journaling so much, because you can do whatever you want, and there's no right or wrong way of doing it, and just have fun with it. And I've got my clear gesso, so I'm going to go over the top of that. All right, so I've got the napkin on, and I've been doing some thinking of how I'm actually going to make this a tuck spot. And I think what I'm going to do, because this is about the length probably of the journal I'm going to make, so I think I'm going to use it in half like this, not make it really a pocket, but to where I can slide something in there and then put my little card in the corner with a staple so that I can tuck things into it. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure I don't have white showing, is I'm going to add a little bit more of this ink that I did, and I'm going to kind of do it on the back also, just a little bit, just so that there aren't any white edges. So I'm going to go through and just kind of rough this up, make a little bit of design just so that when I fold it in half, you can't really see any white. I don't like the white to show, so I'm just kind of roughing it up a bit. I'll do the same here. In fact, I might experiment and add a little bit of this color to this. Give it a little bit different design. There we go. Maybe add a little bit of water. Spread out the color a bit. Now I'm doing this rather quickly. Normally I think I would take a little bit more time, but I don't think you want the video to be too long. I'm just going to put a little bit of color on the edges. Then I plan on doing a little bit more on this collage. So I've got some music paper here. Maybe I'll add a little bit of music to my collage. Again, I'm really just doing this as I go. Now I feel like it needs a little more. Now I'm going to be folding this in half, so really it's only this side that's going to show. So I think I'm going to add just a few drawings, maybe outline the flowers a little bit, just kind of play around with it. So all I'm going to do. All right, I could keep going with this, but to save time, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because otherwise my video is going to be so long. I went ahead and cut out this little owl. I decided that's what I'm going to use for my little woodland animal. And I wasn't thinking, but this flower here and this little part is probably going to be covered up when I make my tuck spot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold this in half. And this is what's going to be the main part of my tuck spot. Now some of this is not quite dry, so I don't want to use this too hard. I don't want to pull everything off that I just glued on. But I'm going to use this for the side that shows. And I've got this, we went to an estate sale a couple days ago, and they had so many craft items, so many. I had to restrain myself from buying too much because I want to make sure I use up the stuff that I have and don't just store up a bunch of stuff. But I got this little embossing corner trimmer, so I thought I'd try it here and see how it works out. It actually was new in the package. I opened it up and tried it on just some plain paper. Can't really see the embossing. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's supposed to have little flowers on it. But I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other corner so that they match. Yeah, there we go. And my plan was to put this here. I'm covering that up, but that's okay. And I'm not sure how this is going to go in my journal because I'm not sure of the size, but I'm going to staple this in the bottom here and probably staple, I'm going to put this on the bottom so that I can staple the bottom and staple this side, and then I can tuck things into here, and then I can tuck things into here. So I've got my stapler here, so that's part of the prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and staple this together. I don't really think that staples look very nice, so I may end up covering it. But for the sake of this prompt, I'm going to go ahead and use the staples. Now I'm going to go ahead and staple one here where it goes over both the card and the... Went a little bit crooked on that. But I need to make sure I have another staple on this side so that holds my items in that I tuck. I'm not measuring or anything here. So then I'm going to staple again across the top. Now I pretty much covered my embossing there. That wasn't a very good plan. Okay, there you have it. Now I just need something to experiment with. I guess I can use a scrap here. This is cardstock, so see if it will work. I can tuck something in here, and then I can tuck something in here. This will go in the side of my journal, and then I can decide if I want to cover these staples, which I'm pretty sure that I will. I may do like some lace across here. I think that would look nice. And there you have it. So there's the prompt for day 10, which is actually today. So making a tuck spot with staples. So I hope you'll join in on this challenge. I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can keep up with the challenge and post more videos. If you're interested in seeing this kit, I'd love for you to take a look at it. I will put the links to both my website and my Etsy shop below. And I hope you have a nice day. Happy journaling and happy crafting and happy Dephemerember. Dephemerember. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.